we're grading NBA free agency and trade moves.
So the free agency season, it started with after the draft, it just started right up with Tim Hardaway swapping with Quentin Grimes. Teams. I think this is overall generally bonus for both teams.
Yeah, I think so. Tim Hardaway Jr. Great first half to the season, but then just
Playoff
didn't
stinker. I don't know if it's great. The Pistons don't have any playoff aspirations as it stands. They're not going anywhere. Hardaway's kind of old. He's not going to be doing a lot in the league anymore. I don't think he's a great player personally. He can hit some threes, but I just don't think he has what it takes to go anywhere far in the playoffs. So the Mavericks getting rid of him now is smart for a younger guy like Quentin Grimes, who's pretty strong, pretty good in his role. All right, move on to the big trade, one of the biggest trades of this season. DeJounte Murray. Now, this was a big issue for the Hawks.
Yeah, they needed to let go of DeJounte Murray because he
Murray
could not coexist with Trae Young.
And Young did not work well together. They both were that point role. They both did not work well together. Murray was crazy when Young wasn't on the court, and Young is known. He's the Atlanta guy. Took them to the conference finals with pretty much no one on that team, really. And I think Atlanta, they got some good stuff out of it. Larry Nance Jr. is very good. Dyson Daniels is very good. But I think DeJounte Murray being on the Pelicans is scary. You know?
Yeah, and with Zion.
With Zion, if he keeps playing like he did, he stays injury free, that they could go second round for conference finals maybe. I don't think that far, but definitely moving McCollum back to a shooting guard position. That's where he's
And then they'll get rid of Brandon
Murray's
Ingram.
at that point.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. Ingram plays that small forward.
No, they're going to trade him, but
Think they're not going to keep him?
nope.
Think they're going to get rid of Brandon Ingram? I think if they can just re-sign him, that'd be good.
It doesn't look like it, but nonetheless,
They won't have a lot of roster depth. They can sign him, get some role players.
We're not going to take
they
away
can take,
from...
Who's the... Is it... It's Herb Jones. That's the big. He can come off. They don't have a center. Or they have Valanciunas, but he's gone.
He's gone. That's a different move.
That was.
But either way, DeJounte Murray to the Pelicans is a good signing. I like that.
It
for
moves.
both
It
teams.
moves them. They're gonna definitely be small ball this year. We could potentially see Zion playing center. I don't think that'll ever happen. They did play a lot of small ball last season against the Thunder, where they ran Nance at the 5, and they had some success there. I don't know if they'll get rid of Ingram. He's a great wing.
Either way, it's a good deal for both teams.
I think just the Hawks being in a kind of asset acquiring stage where they need to get pieces to fit around their star, and they just don't have the right pieces right now. So moving to Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance and EJ Liddell, all good moves. With Murray going to the Pelicans being kind of scary. He's a good player.
And he was going to leave anyway, so the fact that the Hawks got something for him is decent.
Yeah, he did not want to stay there. So, Chris Paul.
Chris Paul to the
Big moving
Spurs.
to the Spurs.
That is really good for Wemby's development, really good for the Spurs.
It's also great for Stephon Castle. Because one of the biggest issues when he came into the team is he's a good two-way player, but he needs to improve his shooting, he needs to improve his passing, and who better to show him the ropes than Chris Paul, man? And this could be scary with a guy that gives open looks like crazy to his players, even though he's aging. Just being able to sign someone as good as Chris Paul is... I don't know what to say.
Yeah, this will be good for Wemby because this time he'll have a point guard who actually passes him the ball.
True. Lots of time. Maybe we could see even a 30 piece from Wemby, averaging 30, maybe 3.5,
Okay.
4 blocks.
Relax.
30 points, 4 blocks, 12 boards, whatever he averages. Now he averages like 22, 14, and 3.7.
I think it was 20, 10, and 2.
Okay. I don't remember. I think he averaged more than 10 rebounds.
Well, whatever the case, it's a good trade for the Spurs. What about for the Warriors, though? I feel like...
I think the Warriors, they lost Klay Thompson. They got rid of Chris Paul. They have some young talent. They got Trace Jackson Jr. They have Jonathan Kuminga. I think the biggest thing for the Warriors is they need to look at Kuminga. and they need to realize Curry's on his way out. He's old. He's still amazing. Still one of the best players in the league, definitely. But they got Jonathan Kuminga, and that is a good young player.
Yeah.
And he needs his potential unlocked, or he needs to be traded if they can't unlock that potential.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with Steve Kerr is that he's not very good at growing young talent.
He's not good at keeping young talent around either.
That's true.
They got Draymond, they got Kuminga, they got Wiggins. Who's going to be running that too? Podjesny?
Pods?
Pods?
Pods will probably be their sixth man.
Who's running there too?
Buddy Hield.
Buddy, I forgot they got Buddy Hield. He's going to shoot better than Clay at least.
You know, in the past 5 seasons, Buddy Hield has made more threes than Steph.
Buddy Hield is a big volume shooter.
Mm-hmm. How is that? Buddy Hield to the Warriors?
Man, I don't know. Buddy Hield is one of those players. He was acquired, I believe, by the 76ers, right? Earlier in the season, and he didn't play very many games, I don't believe. He didn't do a whole lot, but he's a very good three shooter. He is up there in the age, though. I don't know. Their defense is going to be scarily bad.
Fun fact for everyone. This was the NBA's first ever 6-team trade. So the Mavs got Klay Thompson and a 2025 second-round pick. The Timberwolves got 2 second-round picks from the 2031 and 2025 draft. The Warriors got Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson. Yeah, that'll be interesting. The Nuggets just got Cash. The Hornets got Josh Green, Reggie Jackson, a 2029 second, and a 2030 second. And then the Sixers got a 2031 second.
I think Klay Thompson to the Mavericks is...
It's really good for him. For the way he went out,
yeah,
now he's going to be shooting open threes for the team that just went to the finals.
Missing open threes for the team that went to the finals, yeah.
I mean, he'll be their 6th man.
Yeah. Or they play him at the small forward.
No, I think he'll be the 6th man.
What's the lineup looking like? Luka, Kyrie, they got
PJ.
Gafford, the 4. You think they'll play both at the same time?
Yeah, I think they'll play with 2 centers.
I think that's what the thing they didn't do. They never played the 2 centers and kind of stopped them. They have so much more lob opportunity with 2 bigs on the court.
Yeah, I mean...
But it also does restrict their rotation to 2 backups. They could play... Klay could start at the 3.
He could, depending on if they don't like how P.J. Washington's playing.
P.J. Washington is also a 4 player.
It's true,
Dude,
but...
does play the 4.
He's a forward, so he could play the 3.
It's a wing. It's true. They're...
But I like it for the Warriors. They got to get rid of Klay Thompson. And the fact that they got Buddy Hield and Kyle Anderson.
10! Dude, he's so bad. Ever since the injury, Klay Thompson has just been not it. But let's talk about a team who fleeced free agency. 76ers. You know, they're scary if Embiid doesn't choke in the playoffs. Embiid played pretty well this season in the playoffs. To be fair, Maxey is just getting better.
Maxey is going to be very good.
They have shaken up their lineup like crazy.
Yeah, this is really good for Maxey because 1, he got a bag. He got a new max contract. 2, the defenders are going to put their best defenders on Paul George and then Joel Embiid. That leaves him open. So
he's gonna be averaging a high number.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna see a dip in Embiid scoring, though.
Maybe.
I don't think we're gonna see what we saw at the beginning of this season before the injury.
Yeah, I think we're done with MVP Joel Embiid.
MVP Joel. I think he needs to step back for his team to succeed, or he can keep trying to get those MVP numbers and make his team suffer. And not just for victories, but for just development of their talent.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the positives with, obviously now you have Caleb Martin too as another wing.
Yeah, they got a lot. They got Eric Gordon, they got Andre Drummond, they got Paul George, Caleb Martin. To get anything else out of it,
I will say though, I am a little curious how they'll do in the playoffs because Joel Embiid in the playoffs has failed, and now they're adding another guy, Paul George, who has also failed in the playoffs. So
Yeah.
I understand there's all of a sudden title hopes, but we'll have to see how they work in the playoffs, how teams line up against them. The Timberwolves could be a fun
Caleb
series.
Martin has the most finals experience, doesn't he? On that
He
team.
does, yeah.
Wow. No, but it's a great team. Looking like a great team.
Mhm.
They can have. They'll probably play Maxey, Drummond on the court. They got rid of Paul Reed, didn't they?
They did.
Paul. Who did they sign? They made another sign recently.
I don't know who their 2 is.
I don't remember who they got. Eric Gordon. I don't know if they're gonna play him too. I don't know what their center rotation is gonna look like either. If they're gonna move a center to power forward, maybe they have a very weird. They have very weird pieces for their starting lineup here.
They could put Caleb Martin on one wing, Paul George on the other.
Yeah, or they could play Caleb Martin as a shooting guard, maybe. I
Paul
don't
George
think he
could
plays
maybe
shooting guard.
play shooting guard.
Paul George can play shooting guard. That's true. He's a shooting guard. Caleb Martin on the wing, and then maybe move. Then Embiid, Drummond. Maybe Embiid can play the forward.
No, they'll probably put Drummond as a 4.
Drummond's a tried and true center.
Maybe.
The Nuggets.
I'm very disappointed
Are
in
they
the
free
Nuggets.
agency losers? Yeah.
I think they are.
lost the free agency.
Because they lost Bruce Brown the year before, and then the idea was you add 1 or 2 more pieces to your bench, and you're back in the title contention. They did not do that. They lost KCP to free agency.
And they got nothing.
I-
Nothing. He left to Orlando to add yet another defensive piece to that team, which can be scary. They were, for a while, during the season, they were holding team for like a 20-game stretch or something. They held teams to under 106 points or something.
Yeah.
They were leading the league in defense for a while until the Timberwolves said, let us lock in, and they were the best defensive team. But Magic, a very young core, very defensively focused. They did not make it out of the first round, but they did show that they can win some games in the first round and messed up the Cavs.
I think they have top 5 young core in the league right now.
Thunder.
Yeah. Maybe the Rockets.
Rockets.
And these guys, Orlando.
Why can't I think of teams right now? Would the Knicks be considered a young core?
Yeah, they would.
Knicks.
Well, I guess they would.
Bridges is
Pistons are
Pistons.
not as bad as people would think.
Yeah. JV on the Magics. The Wizards. Let's just talk about everything the Wizards did. They got Alex Sarr.
Yeah,
Right.
that's a great pick. He
They
didn't want to
have-
come to Atlanta, and they got him with the 2nd overall pick. He was
Yeah.
projected to go first. He forced his way into 2nd. We'll have to see how that plays out.
They got Alex Sarr. They got Jonas Valanciunas. They got Kyle Kuzma. They got Jordan Poole. They got Tyus Jones. They got a few other pieces. 15th? 14th maybe? Is that the moves? Are these the moves? What are they looking for? Are we looking for more than what? What did they get? Like 15 wins?
I think they're going to tank
Do you
for
think
the number 1
do you
overall
think-
pick, Cooper Flag.
Do you think the Wizards will improve on their wins this year, or do you think they'll improve on their wins this year? Let's start with that question.
Well, they can't be much worse.
It's true. They somehow managed to not win more than the team that lost 28 games straight, which is just impressive. I think the Pistons are going to do better this season.
They will.
I
For
think
sure.
the Wizards will secure their 15th spot and hopefully get that lottery pick, and
And they'll get Cooper Flag.
they'll get
With the
Cooper
number 1
Flag.
overall
And
pick.
Then after that, with Sarr, Cooper Flag, and some Poole and Kuzma, if they can keep their pieces, they're very young, very scary then.
Yeah.
I think if they just keep drafting. But I think the Pistons are going to play better this season. They just they made some small signs. I forget who they got. They got some trades. They have Tim Hardaway Jr.
Yep.
They secured. They got Tobias Harris now.
Tobias Harris will be good for them.
Malik Beasley. Ooh, Malik Beasley. As Bucks this offseason have not done a lot for their roster.
No, they haven't.
They drafted A.J. Johnson, which is pretty good. They signed, they signed a few people, one or two people. Torian Prince, that's the one. They signed Torian Prince, which I'm pleased about. And I'm pleased that Malik Beasley's gone.
I think they have to bank off the assumption that Dame and Giannis can play well together now.
I don't think they played bad. They didn't play bad together either. They didn't have, I don't think they had a negative net rating. The whole front office coaching situation that season was really scary.
Yeah, that's the biggest flag right now, is that Doc Rivers.
And now they got Darvin Ham as the assistant coach from the Lakers.
Yep.
Which, Darvin Ham, he hammed it up. GM said, no more Darvin Ham. I want JJ Redick. I want my son.
Draft my son.
Draft my son. I want Bronny.
Brian James has done really well in the summer league. Scored 2 points.
In
the first half.
Everybody was being really critical of Bronny. Yeah, it's a little bit of nepotism. Man, he gets to play with his son though. It's crazy. Everyone talks about how he averaged 5 points.
Dude, he's sleeping with his teammate's mom.
He averaged 5 points in college. Not very amazing, but I think he did well in the draft combine. He looks okay in the summer league. I think he could be a decent bench piece. He can't really be worse than the worst players in the league.
I mean, let's also not forget, he did go into cardiac arrest, and he only debuted in December, so we have to give the kid time. I mean,
all in all, the 51st pick, 51st picks in prior drafts have not even played NBA minutes. If the kid can come on and have a game where he plays 10 minutes and scores 4 points, he'll be better than most 51st picks.
Yeah.
Or 55th picks. It's not the worst the Lakers could have done. They could have not signed Dalton Connect. Najee Marshall on the Mavs. We forgot to talk about that. I mentioned that. Amazing. Amazing free agency sign. Najee Marshall is a great player. And he's going to help out the Mavs. Undeniably. He brings some defense in. He comes from the Pelicans have lost a lot of the small rotational pieces. But they have gained some talent. They have DeJounte Murray now. They still have Herb Jones and Trey Murphy III. So they still have some of their better backups. I think Pelicans can maybe get out of the play-in. Hopefully with good play.
As long as Zion stays healthy, again, that's the biggest key factor for them.
Yeah, it really is all around how Murray fits in as at point guard, how he's going to play with the rest of the team. Clippers are screwed.
The Clippers title window is closed. I'm sorry, Clippers fans. Y'all got...
They have Derek Jones Jr., Keontae Porter Jr. They signed a few people. They didn't do terrible. Honestly, for losing Paul George, all the people they signed weren't that bad. They got Mo Bamba, Nicholas Batum, Derek Jones, Kevin Porter Jr. They made some signings. They didn't just get rid of Paul George and then not fill that capital space. But overall, losing Paul George is major. We forgot about Kelly Oubre on the Sixers.
He re-signed with them.
Simple re-sign. Kelly Oubre is going to be a piece. He could start. Let's not forget how good he is. There wasn't outside of that. The Nets were a big mover this season.
They re-signed Nick Claxton.
They made just recently DeMar DeRozan. Mm-hmm. They traded and they
did not sign DeMar DeRozan.
No, they didn't sign DeMar. When did they part of that trade though? They got it was Bulls, Spurs,
and not 76ers.
DeMar DeRozan moved. It was Bulls, Spurs,
Kings.
Yeah. DeRozan went to the Kings. He was given up. The Bulls got Chris Dort.
And the
2
Spurs
second-round
got
picks.
Harrison Barnes.
Spurs got Harrison Barnes, which is great for the Spurs. Harrison Barnes is a very good piece. I think the Kings are probably still going to be playing.
I have faith
Team.
that they can be a little bit better.
I think right now in the West, in the Western Conference, next season we're looking at.
The Clippers won't be there.
I don't know. I think for Western Conference we're looking at our top 8. We're looking at
Thunder,
Thunder. We're looking at Thunder. We're looking at Nuggets. We're looking at
Timberwolves.
Timberwolves. We're looking at Mavs. We're looking at Suns. Pelicans probably move up.
Suns, Katie might request a trade, leave them in shambles. I wouldn't be surprised.
I doubt it. I think KD might just finish his career with the Suns. There's no the person who'll get traded the most is Bradley Beal. He doesn't fit. Beal does not fit their team. I don't know when any of those players' contracts expire, but I don't think they'll be making any major moves. They need to just keep adding depth to their team because they can't just rely on star talent to carry them with their big three, especially with Beal having that injury and all that. But I think it'll be Rockets are probably going to move up.
I really like Shengun.
The Grizzlies are going to be back.
The Grizzlies are going to
Zach
be a
Edey,
good team.
Zach Edey, Morant,
Ja
will be back.
Morant, Desmond Bain, Gigi Jackson, Jaren Jackson Jr., Zach Edey. That is a crazy lineup. They might
Yeah,
have
they're
5
probably
stars on that lineup.
Could potentially have 5 stars.
It's crazy.
Morant's very good. Jackson's very good.
Yeah, the key for
Bain-
them
Bain
is
potential.
ensuring that Ja puts the gun down, and then
Hop off IG Live. I think the team that's going to dip the most is probably the Jazz. I don't think they're going to produce as well.
oh,
as they
Lauri
did last
Markkanen.
season.
At the time of
I
this
think-
recording, he is not signed with any team.
Yeah, I think the Jazz haven't made almost any moves in the Western Conference.
They're planning on getting a huge amount of assets from the Lauri.
We're still waiting to see about that. But the Jazz haven't done really anything. They get Drew Eubanks. I mean, their team is always just going to be mid. I don't think they'll make it. I don't think the Spurs will make it. I don't think the Trailblazers will make it.
Spurs could be
I
a
don't
play-in.
think
I can
the
see.
Warriors are going to make it.
Unfortunately,
to the
not.
playoffs. I don't even know if they'll top 10.
I do think they will be slightly better than last season.
With Buddy Hield over Thompson.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
Buddy Hield could come off the bench and then they start pods.
They could. It really depends on how they're.
I mean, they found their center. Hopefully, Draymond doesn't do Draymond things again. I
Yeah.
don't see them doing that bad.
Thunder are winning the Western Conference.
Yeah.
I don't care what anyone says.
Josh Giddey for Alex Caruso is such a good deal. I think they fleeced the Bulls.
They did, and then they signed Isaiah Hartenstein. And they
Hartenstein,
still have all their draft
another
picks.
7-footer.
And they still have all their draft picks. They still have everything. The only thing they need to work around is all that is their cap space. Because once Chet Holmgren's off rookie contract, it's going to be different.
Yeah,
story
they
for
need
that
to
team.
figure out what they want to do with all those assets, and then find a way to free
They-
up cap space a little bit for their young
Yeah,
core.
they can't just hold on to draft picks at this point. They need to make moves and strengthen their roster and keep strong. And if once their team falls together on the pieces, and they'll win a chip. There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you think they could win this year?
No.
Why not?
The Knicks.
The Knicks?
Yeah, I think either the Celtics or Knicks are winning it. I don't
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting. No Western Conference team?
I don't have faith.
Not the Timberwolves?
I don't have faith in the Timberwolves.
Rob Dillingham?
I don't think he's shaking up their roster. They lost to Luka Magic because their DPOI couldn't defend lobs, man. Unless Anthony Edwards locks in and becomes the most offensive god we've ever seen.
Or maybe Rob Dillingham becomes a 20-point per game scorer.
If Rob Dillingham can score 20 points per game, that is going to be a scary team. I don't think he comes in and does that though.
Maybe not first year.
I don't think any of these rookies come in and score 20 points.
Yeah, they're not Wemby.
None of them are Wemby.
So
who was the second overall pick after Wemby? I can't even remember last season.
Brandon Miller and then Scoot Henderson.
Brandon Miller was good. He scored 24, didn't he?
He was pretty good. I don't remember how many. Scoot was not. I do think Scoot Henderson can be better this year, but we'll see.
Trailblazers need to just keep doing their rebuild stuff. They were great in the rebuild. The Kings.
De'Aaron Fox, they need him to make an MVP
Do
league.
they inch up at all? Does DeMar DeRozan affect their legacy?
2 years ago, they were the 3 seed or something like that. Last season, they didn't get worse, but other teams got better, and that's why they fell. This season, they've gotten better. This season, they've gotten better with DeMar DeRozan. However, they lost Harrison Barnes. I think they've gotten a little bit better, but I don't think that's going to matter too much.
Keon Ellis is tearing up the summer league right now. That's all I want to say. They got some good pieces.
We'll see.
I don't think they're a championship team. I think they're a first or second round team. I don't even know. I don't think they move up from play-in.
But that's pretty good for the Kings. Going to the second round, I would say that's a successful season if they go to the second round.
There's not many big trades left. Let's talk about the Knicks now. Knicks, man.
Mikal Bridges, the Villanova Knicks. Villanova Knicks.
The Villanova Knicks.
I was surprised. I thought they were going to keep Hartenstein and trade Randall. They didn't. They did the
why
opposite.
would they trade Randall?
Hartenstein would be cheaper. He was good in the playoffs.
They have Mitchell Robinson. He just got injured. He's their starting piece over Hartenstein normally anyway.
Yeah, but Hartenstein was pretty good in the playoffs.
He was pretty good in the playoffs.
He was one of their heroes, yeah.
Mikal Bridges has never... I don't think he's ever been injured. He's never really missed games before now. But with we know the Knicks coach, he likes to play players. Do we think
Thibodeau?
Tom Thibodeau, do we think Bridges misses some first NBA minutes?
That depends on how their bench is. If they play their bench players well.
So who's their backup for Bridges? Who comes off? Bridges comes off bench.
OG Anunoby.
What's their starting five going to look like? Brunson.
Hart
at the 2?
Not at the 2. At the 3?
Hart at the 3. Randall at the 4. Randall at the 5. Mitchell Robinson at the 5.
No, I think they'll play Randall at the 5.
Okay. Put Randall at the 5. Run a small ball lineup. It's going to depend game to game, that lineup.
DiVincenzo's the 2.
DiVincenzo is the 2. With OG Anunoby and
Mikal Bridges
sharing the 3.
Yeah, one of those is the 3, the other is the 6.
Randall sharing the 4, has the 4 with Mitchell at the 5. It's going to be Mitchell at the 5. He's their center.
We'll see.
They don't have another center. They need to make a move and get another center. That's about it, and then they win a chip, I think. I think Celtics still scary. It's the same team.
Yeah, I will say, I feel like...
They really did just say, let's run it back. And honestly, they had a legendary run. What do you think?
I feel like this is going to sound
the
crazy.
Celtics run was legendary?
It's going to... Not really. I'll tell you, this is going to sound crazy. I think the Mavs were better, but I just think that they didn't play well that series. I do think that if they were to say tomorrow, let's redo the series, I think the Mavs would win more than one game. Maybe they would still lose the series.
With the teams that the Mavs has, they will be winning more games. The Mavs have improved their team, and they will be back. And I don't know if they make it to the finals, but if they do, I think they have a chance to upset the Celtics, who will probably win the East if the Knicks don't upset them.
Let's also keep in mind, the Celtics had some injury-prone players who didn't get injured until later. Kristaps Porzingis
missed basically all of the playoffs.
Yeah, he did.
He played 3 games.
But also, Al Horford is pretty old now.
He's not really injury-prone.
Yeah, he's not injury-prone, but he is old, so they're putting a lot of faith in him.
Yeah, but he doesn't play an aggressive game. If Porzingis stays healthy anyway, they can just switch the two out, and Horford's age didn't really show during this playoff run. They were 80-21 for the season in terms of wins and losses.
Yeah.
It's a scary team. They seem pretty unstoppable. One of the best regular season records, and a Finals MVP who didn't even make an All NBA team.
Yeah, that is interesting.
I don't know what to think about that team. I don't know. I feel pretty confident the Celtics can run it back and make the finals comfortably.
They can at least make the conference finals.
The biggest threat to them are teams.
Is it the Knicks?
The Knicks.
The Sixers?
Sixers. Those are the biggest threats in the East right now.
Right now, it doesn't look like the Bucks can do much.
Just from looking at how teams performed and who they've signed, the biggest threats are the Knicks and the 76ers. I won't put it past the Pacers to perform well and get some upsets in. I wouldn't put it past the Bucks for performing well and getting some upsets in. Other Eastern Conference teams, I don't really know. Cavs and Magic, Magic did improve the roster with KCP, but I don't think it's anything crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Hornets are going to have LaMelo Ball back, but
he's going to get injured again.
I don't think so.
So here's my question to you. So last year we had a surprise team. We had the Timberwolves perform well. I don't think anyone predicted them to do as well as they did. Who is that team going to be going into this season?
I don't think the Timberwolves are really a surprise team.
The 1 seed? No, the 3 seed. They were the 3 seed.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone predicted them to be the 3 seed.
They played good ball. They played very defensively. It was very good. I think the 3 seed was well deserved. I don't remember what the predictions coming into the season were, but definitely they deserved the 3 seed there.
They definitely deserved the 3 seed.
Their playoff run was pretty deserved. They made it as far as they were kind of expected. They upset the Nuggets.
It also means that the Gobert trade worked out.
I don't know if it's worked out yet.
I mean, the assumption they made was...
I don't know. It depends on what their goal of the Gobert trade was. Was their goal of the Gobert trade to perform well, or was their goal of the Gobert trade to win? It depends on how we're looking at that trade.
Well,
did they improve drastically with Gobert? Yes. Did they win a chip with Gobert? No. Are they going to win a chip with Gobert? I don't think so. I don't see the Timberwolves winning the chip in the coming years.
Well,
I don't see Gobert being on a championship.
I mean, right now the question marks are Karl Anthony Towns. On every
contracts
night,
are so big.
He could get 10 points. He could get 50. And how good
62.
How good is Rob Dillingham going to be in his first year?
They're rookies. It's how good the players that come off their benches. Does Naz Reid keep up that 6-man attitude? Does Rudy Gobert improve on his DPOY season where he wasn't?
Does Anthony Edwards make a case for MVP?
I don't think that's... Does Anthony Edwards move up in the All-NBA listings? Does he perform better? Does he start living up to that next Michael Jordan pseudonym people give him? There's a lot of ifs in this season coming up. I think the most certain things we know are the Celtics,
right?
Who will probably dominate the East yet again. With biggest contention being from the Knicks and the 76ers. That's probably your 2 and 3 seed. Bucks maybe 4th seed. From there, I don't really know. Yeah, so I don't think...
The Hawks could be moving up.
I don't think the Wizards... If the Wizards don't improve on their win total, I'm going to be disappointed. If they don't win more than 15 games next season, I'll be greatly disappointed. I think the Pistons still stink it up yet again.
I think they'll be a little bit better. They won't have the losing streak they had.
The Hornets and the Raptors should be better next season. The Nets are in the tank.
Yeah, the Nets, they've lost everybody. Their best hope is that Cam Thomas can play well.
And they don't want to win, though. That's the thing.
Yeah.
I think if I was the Brooklyn Nets right now, I'd keep making trades and I'd be tanking for a higher draft pick.
Yeah.
And I'd be just... Because they've traded Mikal Bridges. They got a bunch of picks back.
They got
taking-
Bojan out of that.
taking for their. They did get Bogey. That's a good piece. They don't have a terrible team. They can still make things work. I don't think they want. I wouldn't want to win because you're not going to make playoffs.
Yeah.
They as this season they were 4 games out of the play-in. With 32 wins, they were 4 games out of the play-in in the East.
Mm-hmm.
Just tank for
The 2 teams above them, I think, will do well. Better, at least. Hawks.
Bulls
They got
and
Risache.
Hawks should probably perform well this season.
Yeah.
Dyson Daniels is a good piece. Larry Nance is a good piece. They got good.
Risache, Trae Young.
Trae Young.
Now, they
They
need
just
to
need to
be
capitalize
damn
on
sure
their
that
first
Risache plays well because they could have gotten Sar, so.
So I want to play well for them though.
He wouldn't have wanted to play
Doesn't
for the
really
Hawks.
matter.
But I do like the Bulls draft pick. They got Lithuanian American Matas Buzelis. I think he'll be a very good player for.
Yeah, the Bulls look good. Josh Giddey, I don't think fits their team though. I don't know what they're doing exactly. Are they rebuilding?
Yeah, my thought was that
draft picks, like they got Kobe White in there. We know Giddey wants to be a ball dominant guard. What's it gonna look like next season?
Yeah, my
You
thought
have a
was
point
that Alex Caruso was gonna give them some assets, and all they did was get Josh Giddey. Out of
Yeah.
there, which
and lost a pick.
yeah, I mean I don't know what the thought process was. I don't know. Maybe this season they'll be bad enough that they can rebuild, which wasn't possible from last season
Yeah.
because they made the play-in.
Without DeRozan, with Giddey, I don't know what their starting lineup looks like. Mattis Buzelis, if he plays well, that's going to be very great for them. There's a lot of rookies coming in that are going to just shake up their teams.
And then Zach LaVine, they're gonna trade him for assets.
Oh yeah, they have Zach LaVine and Lonzo Ball.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot about them. So you have 3 point guards now.
Zach LaVine can play the 2.
Lonzo Ball.
Lonzo can.
He's a guard.
He'll come off the bench though. He won't start.
But then they also have Kobe White at point guard, and they have Josh Giddey.
Yeah, Kobe White, and then they have
Giddey at point guard.
Ayo Dunyasu.
Unless they play Giddey as a wing, as a point wing, and then just have him be the ball dominator.
And then they have
Ayo
Dosunmu. He was good, I think.
I liked him this season. He played very well. I think Pacers are going to keep up their fight for those playoffs yet again.
Mhm.
Top 6.
They lost Jalen Smith in free agency.
That's not a big loss for them.
Yeah. Maybe TJ McConnell.
I think there's
plays
trades
better.
in their future to improve their roster. I think there's things they can do. There's not a lot of free agents left to pick up. I think they're very good.
Yeah.
They're the definition of pace and space. They had the highest offensive efficiency during the regular season, followed by the Celtics. They just need to keep working on their defense. They just need to keep improving on their piece of Halliburton.
Mm-hmm.
It's scary how good they could be in this current NBA.
Yeah. I say if they get more defense, like they trade for a wing defender.
Patrick
Basically,
Beverly is up for free agency.
yeah, they need to surround Tyrese Halliburton with as much defense as possible because he's not a great defender. And once they do that,
They have 6-man McConnell, who played arguably better than Halliburton in some of the games when he was injured. He came in and he showed out big for them. Nimbard, Shepard, great players. Good bench player, good starter.
Aaron
Miles,
Nesmith,
Miles Turner, one of the best shooting bigs, can get blocks. He's great on both sides. Siakam just
so the Siakam thing really
Siakam's
worked out
still
for
just
them.
riding that Raptors championship, man. He is playing phenomenally for them.
Yeah, I didn't at the time. I was kind of 50-50 on whether that would work out, but they got to the conference finals, so I would consider that a win for the Pacers. There was absolutely no way they were gonna beat the Celtics team. I mean,
No.
I would say that that's an absolute.
They got
win.
lucky against the Knicks with the injuries.
Yeah, I mean, this season I don't think they can beat the Knicks.
I don't think they make it out of the first round. without moves. They didn't make any moves.
Yeah,
The Pacers are gonna be deadlocked.
if they play the Celtics, they're not gonna win. They play the Knicks.
I think they can still
don't
have a
think
good regular season. Still maybe make the playoffs. I feel like if if every team stays healthy, they're first round exit. Because
Yeah.
I think the 4 teams that move on are going to be, it depends. I feel like Celtics have a great team in the East. Knicks have a great team in the East. The Bucks could do things in the East despite they were injured last season. We never got to see playoff Dame and Giannis. Dame scored 35 points in the first half and then none in the second. What was that? That was a weird game. I'm really scared for the Bucks, man.
Yeah, it's not looking too good.
Torian Prince is a good pickup. Getting rid of Beasley is a great decision. He was terrible in the playoffs. I hated him since the beginning of the season. Giannis is looking good at the Olympics, at least. That's good. Healthy again.
Yay! Best case, he gets steamrolled by Team USA.
What do you think the top 6 teams in East and West are for next season?
Well, we still haven't talked about the Cavs, so I don't think they've gotten much better.
They haven't gotten better, no. And they still have free agents up, I believe. They re-signed Donovan Mitchell,
That's good.
Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, Max Strus, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley,
Isaac Okoro is still in free
Jordan
agency.
Yang. No, they signed Isaac Okoro.
Oh, they did. That's right.
I believe they signed him, right? Sam Merrill, Dean Wade. A lot of players who showed up in the playoffs but didn't really do much in the regular season because they didn't need to. They were good. They gave the Celtics a run for their money. Stole game 2. Nearly won another, but they didn't have D. Mitch. I don't think it mattered too much. I think the Celtics still are just the best team in the East, plus team in general last season. I think they could keep that up this season. Their players are still quite young. I think Celtics secure the top seed.
So what's your finals prediction? Celtics versus who?
I want to say Thunder.
Thunder. You think the Celtics are going to beat the Thunder?
I think if I doubted the Thunder last season a lot because they were young and my doubts were right. Of course, they beat the injured Pelicans, but they lost to Luka Doncic in the second round because they couldn't defend Lob City well enough. Luka exposes a lot of flaws in teams. I don't know. The NBA right now feels so bizarre, and I don't know where teams are gonna go. All I know is that every team is improving, and some are just staying the same. The ones that stay the same are gonna be dropping. The Suns could be a play-in team next season. The Nuggets are gonna probably drop. I don't think they're gonna be
I think they'll be the 4th seed. Maybe that's crazy.
Up there. The Clippers are gonna drop. They still
Clippers
have.
may be a play-in team.
They still
as
have
well.
Brooke. They still have James Harden. They still have Kawhi Leonard. Now they have Mobamba. They have Did they lose Mason Plumlee? They have Zubac. They have Powell, Derek Jones, Batum, Bones Highland, PJ Tucker. They got Kevin Porter Jr. Kai Jones. They got some good players back out of free agency from just signing, but losing Paul George was big, and that's one of their starters they lost. And Derek Jones is probably going to start now for them.
Although that might be better for guys like James Harden because Paul George was really...
He ball dominant.
Yeah.
Ball dominant. He was a 20-point per game scorer or something like that.
So maybe James Harden scores more.
It's really all about how these aging stars that we know continue their scoring. Does James Harden start scoring more? Does Brooks start scoring more? Does Kawhi pick up even more scoring after 24 points a game? Does Derek Jones come in and start scoring a whole bunch for them? Does one of the other free agents they signed, does Batum do some stuff off the bench? How do the younger guys on the team work out, like Bones Highland and stuff? Mavs made trades. I see them moving up. I see them as a top 3 seed.
They won't be a 5th seed. I don't think they'll make the finals, but I think they'll have a higher
I don't know
seed.
if there's the finals appearance. I think the Thunder are just so scary to me right now.
Yeah, and now they have playoff experience.
And the Wolves have experience against them now, and they started to figure them out. Until they got blown out again. Lakers with Dalton Connect, they're probably going to stay in the play-in. What about the Grizz? Do we think Grizz make
The
turn it around?
Grizzlies, I think.
Grizz are like the most bipolar team.
If we think everyone stays healthy, if we think Ja doesn't go on Instagram Live again, I do see them being a 3 seed. I think there's a world because
I'm seeing
Jaren Jackson
I'm seeing
Jr.
Thunder. I'm seeing
is
Mavs. I'm seeing
crazy.
Grizzlies. I'm seeing Timberwolves, Nuggets, Pelicans, Kings, Clippers. Probably actually, yeah, Kings, Clippers, Suns, Lakers, Warriors. Rockets are probably going to move up. They had a 50% win-loss, 41-41, and Alpi was out. They signed some new people, I believe.
if Jalen Green can have 20 points per game while Şengün is still playing, and Dylan Brooks will play well defensively, Fred VanVleet will play well, the Rockets could be a good team playing, maybe even like 6th seed in the
I think they're
playoffs.
playing. I don't think they're going to move up too high just because how good the West is. Especially with the Grizzlies being back with a great piece of Zach Edey. I think he's going to fit in perfectly there.
That was a great
With that
pick.
Grizzlies nature. I think Morant is just such a big thing to that team that he comes in, he's going to put him back to a positive win rate. He's going to put him back in probably the top 4 seed.
Yeah,
I think our
Ja could be in
the bottom
race
5 in the West. The bottom 5, the team that don't even make the play-in. I'm seeing Trailblazers. I'm seeing Spurs. I'm seeing Jazz. I don't know who else. That's the issue. Do the Warriors make play-in even? Do the Lakers? Do the Suns?
Kings.
Clippers?
Yeah.
Kings? Like, who's getting edged out? Who did not make good enough moves? We know the Thunder are still going to be like the 1st seed, top seed. We know that Jokic will never let the Nuggets, Jokic and Murray are not going to let the Nuggets not make the playoffs.
Yeah.
We know the Wolves are going to make the playoffs.
Yep.
They're the same. They're same team, if not better.
Mavs.
We know Mavs. Clippers X Factor losing George. Do their stars step up?
I think playing at best, unfortunately.
I don't know. Suns, they could dip.
I think the Grizzlies could be better than the Suns. I think the Grizzlies can be better than the Clippers.
Yeah. I don't know about the Pelicans. It depends on how that trade works out. If they can pick up a center ever, they could dip after the trade. They could be worse. Zion could not play good like he did towards the end of the season. I don't think the Kings move up. I just don't see them doing it. They improved. I don't see the Lakers doing anything. I don't even know if the Lakers make the playoffs. I know they have LeBron James. They have Anthony Davis, but
Yeah, AD's not consistent in the playoffs. He might get injured.
it's just regular season.
Yeah, and then
Like 2 teams from the bottom 5 are probably moving up and taking someone's position. Are the Rockets going to be better than the Warriors? Do they look better than the Warriors next season?
I believe so. I think so. I
The
mean,
Warriors are not going to make the playoffs then. It's a big upset. Not seeing the Steph Curry or LeBron James in the playoffs next season, and that could be a reality.
yeah, that could be the case.
We didn't even see Steph Curry in the playoffs this year. I'm talking about playing doesn't even count as playoffs.
Yeah.
We can even see Steph Curry try to make it in the playoffs. No plan, nothing. LeBron could be relegated even further down.
If that happens, you see a world where LeBron might leave or Curry might leave.
I don't think LeBron's leaving.
Yeah,
AGM.
they got his son.
I think Curry not making the play-in is more likely than LeBron. I feel like Lakers are a decent 10 seed. I think if the Rockets and the Grizzlies move up to the top 10, the teams that I think move down are the Warriors, and maybe the Kings. But I don't even believe the Kings. I don't know. It's really hard. Right now, the West has 12 great teams, and 12 great teams that could all push for the playoffs. It's just hard to make these decisions without knowing how teams are going to fit together after all the moves. With the East, we know who the bottom 5 are going to be. It's going to be the Pistons. It's going to be the Wizards. It's going to be the Raptors.
Hornets.
It's going to be the
Hornets
Nets.
and the
It's
Nets.
going to probably be the Nets. We know who the top 10. It's going to be the same top 10 teams. It's either the Nets are going to be better. Hornets are going to be better because it's their rookie's second season. Miles Bridges' second season.
They re-signed Miles
Brandon
Bridges.
Miller's second season. They re-signed Miles Bridges. LaMelo Ball is going to be back. They're going to be a decent team. So it's either the Bulls or the Hornets are not going to make the playoffs. Those are your 2 X Factor teams. The rest of the teams we know are secured. The Heat are going to win games.
They did get worse. We'll say they lost Caleb Martin.
Didn't they sign someone decent to make up that spot, though? I can't remember. I think the Heat still just make it. They have Terry.
Just as the 8th seed.
Terry Rozier. No, it's maybe the 10th. Oh, they have Alec Burks now, but he's really old.
They signed Chris Durant.
That's the Bulls.
Oh, that's right.
Chris Durant. Yeah, I think it's
Isaiah Stevens.
it's the Heat. The teams that are dipping are Heat, Bulls, and then teams that are improving are Hornets. Every team that's going down, I think the Raptors are going to get better. I think the Pistons are going to be probably the same. I think the Wizards will most likely be better. The Hornets are definitely going to be better because of injuries. Raptors will probably be better. Nets are probably going to be worse. Or not probably, they're going to be worse.
They're going to be worse.
The Hawks are most likely going to be better.
They should be.
They should be better. They did lose a piece, and all they got back was a rookie.
They will be better, but that doesn't
They got
necessarily
Dyson
mean...
Daniels, they got Larry Nance. They have better pieces. They're going to be better. The Bulls, I think they're probably going to be about the same, and I don't know if that's good enough to stay in the play-in. The Heat are, again, about the same, and I don't know if that's good enough for the regular season. The 76ers are better. Embiid got injured. If he doesn't injure, the 76ers are easily a top 3 seed. The Pacers are about the same, and again, that might dip. They're probably going to dip in seed because of that. Magic have improved. They'll probably stay the same seed, 6th, 7th seed, most likely just because of how injuries were last season. The Cavs are about the same, and
They might be a little worse.
the Cavs got lucky because of injuries this season. Like, in reality, in the East, the 76ers were meant to be higher, and that just moves every other team down. The Cavs should have been in the 5th seed.
The Cavs might be the
Magic should
5th
have been
or
the
6th
6th.
seed next
The
year.
Pacers should have been in the 7th seed. It's just that injury screwed everything up for the 76ers. And Knicks are better, so they'll maintain their 2nd seed probably. The Bucks, I want to say the Bucks are better personally. They got rid of Beasley. They signed Taurean Prince, which is overall benefit for the team. That's about it, you know?
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't
I'm
see the
seeing-
Bucks
I'm
being
seeing-
top 3 anymore.
I'm seeing Celtics, Knicks, 76ers, Bucks,
Magic,
Cavs or Magic,
Pacers, then
Pacers,
Heat.
then
Heat or Hawks.
I want to say Hawks, then maybe Heat.
So you think Hawks will be a playoff team?
I think Hawks will probably be a playoff team. Just because their stars didn't work together. It's not a bad team. They have more pieces now. I think Hornets move up to top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
And,
Even if LaMelo doesn't stay healthy.
well, I think if LaMelo gets healthy.
I don't think he'll stay healthy.
Okay, then it's the same 10 teams. None of these bottom 5 in the East are going to do anything besides the Hornets.
We'll see.
We're seeing the same 10 teams. The only thing that might change is play-in.
Okay, so what are your thoughts for individual players? Way too early, but who do you think's going to lead the league points per game?
Who led the league this year? Luka?
Technically Embiid, but he didn't meet the minimum, so really Luka.
Luka.
You think he'll
Luka.
again?
Luka.
Luka Magic.
Luka.
I think he could. Yeah.
There's like 3 players who could lead the league in scoring. There's SGA, who probably won't do a 30-point per game season again because his team is getting better. There's Luka, who can do it. Nothing on his team. No new players on his team are that ball dominant. Like Klay Thompson's coming off the bench, man. Najee Marshall is just a defensive piece for them. He can still shoot it, but Luka's still gonna be that one guy on offense, so he's still gonna have to average a bunch of points per game. Giannis is another guy, but he's now sharing the ball with Dame. I don't think Jokic is that kind of scorer, especially with his league getting tougher. Brunson has to share the ball more now because Randall's no longer injured.
Jalen Brunson last year was 4th in points per game.
Yeah, but Randall's back now. Mitchell Robinson's on the team. He didn't have OG Anunoby for most of the season. I don't think he's averaging as many points as he did. He doesn't have to score as much.
That's true.
The scoring leader is always the person on the team who needs to put in the most for their team.
So you think Luka will win MVP then? If he's the most points per
I
game?
don't know if Luka will win MVP.
Then who do you think will?
Because the person who got the most points per game this year was Luka, and he didn't win MVP. It all depends on how Jokic has his season. Again,
I think voter fatigue is probably going to set in for Jokic now.
I think so.
Three MVPs.
Especially since he was a second round exit, and his team hasn't gotten better. If we look at it from an actual statistical standpoint, Jokic will probably have the most win shares for his team in the coming season because they've gotten worse. But MVP, it could be a lot of people. Luka, Shea. It's typically teams who perform well, so we said the 76ers are going to perform well. It could be Embiid if he scores a lot and stays healthy. Who knows? Morant can come back and have an MVP season with his team.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up. Ja Morant, when he was playing well for the Grizzlies, the few games that he played, he was looking like he was going to take them to the play-in, but then he got hurt, obviously.
That was really unfortunate.
Yeah, I think Ja Morant stays healthy. He's got Derrick Rose on that team who can hopefully mentor him. So if he stays healthy, if he doesn't do anything stupid, he could be very scary to play against.
He's a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
The MVP race is kind of slim. It really just seems like Luka.
Yeah.
Because of voter fatigue, just for not knowing who's going to show up, who always does, it's Luka. Luka every year is been pretty much good.
All right. So
rookie is, I think, rookie of the year probably gonna be Alex Sarr.
Really? Okay.
I think
not Reed Shepherd, Rob Dillingham.
Sarr has the biggest outlook.
Yeah, which rookie do you think is going to have the most responsibility? I think maybe
coming into his team is going to do the most
for the Bulls.
I think we're looking at Buzelis to come in and do a lot, Rashache to come in and do a lot. Sarr has no expectations on him. That's the thing, because that team does not expect to go anywhere.
Right.
I don't think that team wants to perform well. I think the team just wants to have people come and, like, they don't want to perform bad. Which is why I was really shocked when they signed Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
I really was surprised that they signed Jonas Valanciunas, because what are they thinking? They're thinking they're going to make top 10 because of Alex Sarr?
I don't know, but I think Dalton Connect also because of Lakers hype.
I think Dalton Connect's a big piece. He's
he'll have a lot of.
Because what do they have? They have D'Lo, they have Braun, they have AD.
I think D'Lo will probably go on the bench now if they put.
What's Connect's position?
He's a point guard, so they have Austin Reeves at the 2.
Yeah, true.
Unless they want.
No, Bronny's starting.
I don't think LeBron James' son, who scored 5 points per game, he scored his NBA career average is 2 points per game now in the summer league. So, I mean, 2 points.
He scored more than 2.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
3 points per game.
How
I
much
don't
did he
think.
score in the summer league?
I will say a lot of people are expecting great things from him. He's 55th pick. Like, let's relax a little
I don't
bit.
think anyone's expecting great things from him.
Well, he has a lot of hype around him.
Everyone,
He has a lot of
points.
attention.
4 points, dude.
Oh, 4 points.
4 points and I think a steal.
That's a little bit worse than USC. 4.8 points per game at USC.
That's true. But it's also the summer league, and he was sharing his spot with freaking Bob Cousy, dude. You saw Bob Cousy out there? That was bald white guy named Cousy. He was going crazy for the Lakers summer league team.
Oh, I'm gonna say rookie of the year for me. It's difficult. We still haven't mentioned
Los
some
Angeles
names.
Lakers versus the Sacramento Kings. They lost by 14.
We haven't talked about how Zach Edey will do. I think he can deal some damage there. Rookie of the year, you said Sarr. I'll say. I'll go with Reed Shepherd.
Who do you? He's third pick, right? And he went to
Rockets.
Oh, yeah, they got another young guy. That's good for them. I think the Rockets definitely have a chance to make the playoffs. They were the 11th seed. They were 5 games out. The Warriors didn't make many improvements. I mean, they got Buddy Hield, which is okay. They got slow-mo Kyle Anderson.
Reed Shepherd is probably the best shooter in this year's draft class. They don't have a lot of shooting. So I like that
They
pick.
have Dalton Connect down here as a shooting guard for the summer league.
Oh, so then maybe Braun plays point guard, and then Austin is the 2.
Yeah.
Or Dalton. Maybe Austin can play point guard, and then they trade D'Lo.
Who's the guy going crazy in the summer league? Who's the bald guy? Is it B. Henson?
Well, I think Defensive Player of the Year is going to be pretty obviously Victor Wembanyama. Or I say pretty obviously, it's still a big leap, and I think he should have won it this year. But next year, I think he'll win Defensive Player of the Year. He definitely has that level.
I think it was Tommy Cussett. He dropped 15.
Defensive Player of the Year, who you got?
DPOI's Wemby.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean,
he came in as a rookie, averaged nearly 4 blocks. No one was close. They gave it to Rudy Gobert because he was on the best defensive team. I don't think they gave it to Wemby because he was a rookie. Also. I think it's just matter of fact they want to give it. He's gonna do great things next season. He's gonna get more opportunities, more passes, more open shots because of Chris Paul. Stephon Castle's a great piece to add to him too. There's not really any other DPOY candidates.
Rudy, Victor,
there's Rudy Gobert, there's Wemby.
Bam Adebayo. He's good. He's not Wemby good, but
it's not Rudy good either.
I mean, I feel kind of disrespecting Bam because he's been grinding for like 5 years, and then Wemby just comes in and is already better than him.
If there's SGA for guard, if he starts,
I don't think a guard will win. I don't think. So.
One did a few years ago, Marcus Smart.
Yeah, but we have so many 7-footers in the league now. They're all going to be swatting blocks. The rim protection is going to be crazy.
If SGA comes in, he averages nearly over 2 steals a year. He was like 1.9 steals. If he averages 2 steals in a block or 2 steals in a block and a half, he could win Defensive Player of the Year. If the Thunder become a very good defensive team, he could win it because they're the best defensive team. He's a probability. I was thinking about someone else. I was just thinking about them.
Zach Edey.
No, I don't think it'll be Zach Edey. Not as a rookie.
Yeah, probably not as a rookie.
If they didn't give it to Wemby, they're not going to give it to Zach Edey. Could be Jaren Jackson Jr. again, though.
Ooh, maybe actually.
It depends.
If they're
everything coming up into the season depends on how these X Factor teams play. How are the Hornets going to play? Are they going to knock one of the top 10 teams out of the East? How are the Grizzlies going to play? How are the Rockets going to play? Are they going to bump Steph out of the play-in? Are they ruining possibilities for these teams who have been keeping spots in the playoffs to come out? Are the Clippers going to perform well without Paul George? They lost their second scoring option. They just have Kawhi now.
So
is Harden going to step up?
That leads to the next question.
Is Derek Jones
most improved player for this upcoming season? Last season, Kobe White got scammed. Tyrese Maxey won.
Went to Maxey. I don't know who's exactly going to improve.
Improve could also be coming back from injury, right?
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh, that's NFL. That's comeback player. Who will improve the most?
I feel like players that have a lot of space to improve are Anthony Edwards. He was okay during the regular season. He played pretty phenomenally during the season.
I think he's still...
He went crazy against the Suns. He played really poorly against the Nuggets, to be fair.
I don't think he'll be a most improved player because he's already very good.
Yeah.
I mean, we're looking at a player who went from not very good to maybe star or close to star leap.
I feel like someone on the trail, like Scoot Henderson, maybe.
Scoot is a good shout. Henderson. Yeah,
I don't think so though. Jalen Green could do it because he really improved last season.
Could be someone on the Grizzlies too.
Kept getting better. I was thinking that.
Gigi Jackson.
I feel like
he played well. I don't think Ja will win it.
I feel like
he was already
someone on the Hornets, maybe like Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges. Could
maybe someone on the Nets. It could be someone out of nowhere.
It's such a weird award.
It's very difficult
to a weird award. I think
predict.
Just looking at how Tyrese Maxey improved is a good starting point.
Well, I think for him, it wasn't necessarily yes, he did better in terms of stats, but what really made him better was he got more opportunity to play because James Harden left.
So we have to think about that. Who's leaving?
Well, you said there's an opening on the Clippers, right?
Yeah, but they're going to fill it with Derek Jones Jr.
Yeah, but he's not the same ISO 20-point per game scorer that Paul George is.
Yeah, well, their starting lineup right now looks like Brooke, Westbrook, Harden, Jones, Kawhi. Jones or Kawhi could probably interchange 3 and 4, and then Zubac. So the only thing that's changing is that George is gone and Jones is there. And that's a downgrade on their team, and they're going to perform worse. That's about it. We could see a comeback from Westbrook. He can average some crazy number now. I don't think he wants to.
No.
He's fallen into his position as a role player. We could see maybe Harden starting to average.
I don't think an old person will win. If you're over the age of 30, I don't think
it's because most improved really is all about
I think it'll be someone young who is drafted.
They typically want to give it to someone
flopped.
Tyrese Maxey went from he averaged 20 points last season, averaging 25 this season, with 3 more assists and more rebounds, I believe. Yes, like 1 more rebound. And before that, he improved on 3 points, and he went down on assists actually, and his rebounds were about the same. So it wasn't even a big leap in scoring or anything. He just started to play better.
Yeah, it's difficult to say who's going to win most improved player.
It really is, because they don't even have to make a box score leap that big. They just need to start doing more for their team. It probably really is about who's going from a bench position to a starter position.
I got it. Buddy Hield.
Buddy Hield. He's kind of old, too, though. And I don't know if he's going to improve. I think he's going to do more for his team. I think he's going to be very similar. I don't know. He averaged 12 points per game. I see him averaging maybe 15.
I'm gonna lock in my answer, Buddy Hield.
Think Buddy Hield?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna put in. The whole association. Let's go team by team. Anyone on the Celtics?
Best team.
I don't think anyone's gonna win improved from the best team.
Do you think Şengün qualifies to be able to win Most Improved Player?
Yeah.
He should have won last season, actually. Because it was... I think he was third in that.
Was he?
Yeah, Şengün was third.
Maybe. I think, yeah, he can come in and win Most Improved.
I think... But he's already... Didn't he make All-NBA team?
I don't know.
Third All-NBA?
All I know is he went from he started averaging 21 points last season on 5 assists and 8 boards. 9 boards. I think he could probably start dishing out
Oh,
more
it could be
assists.
someone from, like, the Jazz or some team that... Or the Nets.
Jazz
who
had
just-
no one new, really.
Yeah, but it's the person who really comes out of nowhere. Like, I don't know, Walker Kessler or...
Cam Johnson.
Cam
Bogey
Thomas, yeah.
Or Cam Thomas, yeah.
Nick Claxton.
Nick Clax. Bogdanovich. No one on the Knicks is probably...
Cam Thomas
no one
is
on
not
the
a bad
Bucks.
shout.
Yeah. Pacers, I don't think have anyone who could win it. I don't think the Heat have anyone. I mean, the Heat could have a player that just goes crazy next season. Tyler Healer, Duncan Robinson, Thomas Bryant, Nikola Jovic. They could start going crazy next season.
Alright.
There's
Last
a lot of
prediction.
different players for most.
Say your prediction, and then it's it.
Oh man, I have to pick one player.
Yeah. We're probably going to both be wrong on this and completely off, but, I mean, that's the point.
Man, it has to be an existing player who's kind of mediocre.
If you want to go bold, you can say Bronny James. He's right there.
He can't win Most Improved.
Bronny James is right there.
Dude,
Bronny
if
James
bro
is right.
if bro averages 3 points, 2 assists, and a board in the NBA, he will be that'll be the biggest turnaround from a player we've ever seen from college ball. From a 55th pick, nonetheless, that would probably be the biggest turnaround. Bro, if bro starts a game, he'll be better than most 55th picks within the last 10 years.
Just saying, Austin Reeves was undrafted, and he's pretty good now.
Yeah, there's a lot of great undrafted players. Most improved. Who's that guy that went crazy for like a week? I'm gonna go with. Hello. There's no one.
I got low battery, man.
I can't think. It could literally be like any player. Any player could just start playing well. Who? Alright, I'm gonna go with, just my original guess, I guess, Scoot Henderson.
Alright, Scoot Henderson.
I'm thinking of other names. I'm thinking like Paolo Banchero can get even better.
But, I
And he can
mean,
win in
he
most
was
of them.
already Rookie of the
He's
Year.
already Rookie of the Year. But that doesn't mean he can't win Most Improved now. He can get even better.
I guess.
He can go from what did he average? Like 21 points. He can start averaging more boards, more assists, more points. He can get even better. Like you don't have to make a massive leap.
He can become a better defensive player.
He can go from. Did he win an All NBA? I never even looked at who won All NBAs. I'm just gonna go with some a guy that's going into his second or third season like Scoot Henderson. I think he could improve a lot. The Trailblazers have a lot of young talent that looks good. So yeah, a guy like Scoot.
Okay, there you go. Those are our predictions for next year, 2024-2025 season. They'll probably all be wrong, but, I mean, we're like Kendrick Perkins. Everything wrong,